Good morning. It's Councillor Glen. Today is Saturday, April the 22nd. This morning I'm just on the edge of the Kemp Woodland along the Trans-Canada Trail just west of Sacred Heart High School. I thought I'd come here for Earth Day because this is one of the most significant natural areas in Stittsville. Some of the trees in this forest date back well before the Great Fire of 1870 and even as old as 200 years old here. So a really special place. I have a lot of updates, but I want to start with, I think a lot of people are aware, last Friday there was just a vicious attack by a dog on a young boy in our community. I had a chance on Tuesday to talk to the boy's father, and he is recovering. He's at home. He was at CHEO. There was some extensive surgery done. He came home the following day. He's recovering at home. When I spoke to his dad, he was playing Fortnite with some friends. This boy has a long recovery ahead of him. This was a really vicious attack, and all of our thoughts are with Tyson and his family as they go through a very difficult recovery, and to the other children who witnessed the attack as well. This attack happened inside a neighbor's home, and a number of children who would have seen that, so our thoughts with those children and their families as well. I can give a few updates. The dog that attacked the boy has been surrendered to bylaw and is going to be put down. The owner of that dog is facing multiple charges, and there's a court date in May as well in relation to this incident. Now, the same owner has another dog that attacked a neighbor's dog back in December. There's another court date related to that case in June. And I want to thank residents who've contacted us about this. I think this incident really highlights there's a gap in the provincial legislation around aggressive animals. There are backlogs in courts that contributed to this outcome, and it's definitely something that we need to be looking at in the coming days and weeks. And we'll continue to update you as we learn more information about this case and we have any updates. It's been a busy week. Lots going on in our community. I want to thank everyone last Saturday who came out to our councillor chat at the No Frills on Iber Road. Great to meet so many people. On Sunday, I was really honored to be able to take part in a sledge hockey tournament and do the ceremonial puck drop and present some medals. And then I dropped by Station 46 on Iber Road, where the volunteer firefighters there were doing an open house because they're recruiting volunteers. So thanks to everybody who came out to that, and thanks to the firefighters at Station 46 for doing that. It's always great when we can welcome people into to have a look at city facilities and city services. On Monday, we had a big meeting at City Hall. The Transportation Committee looked at Part 1 of the Transportation Master Plan. This is a huge project, a policy document, probably the most important thing we're going to do this term of council is to update the Transportation Master Plan, which sets out how the city's transportation network is going to grow to match our population growth over the next 10 to 25 years. There are three parts to what we looked at. There's a new policy book about safety and about design and so on. There is a list of active transportation infrastructure projects, so that would be mostly cycling and pedestrian infrastructure in Stittsville and around Stittsville. And we have a framework for scoring, how they're going to prioritize major road projects going forward. Things like Fernbank Road or Maple Grove Road, or even upcoming light rail or bus investments as well. If you're interested in all of this, I posted a summary on my website. It's at glengower.ca. I think it's some really good work by staff on the policy. In order to keep up with this population growth, what we want to see is if people are making short trips in the community, we want to make it more safer and convenient and easier for people to walk or cycle. And if people are making longer trips in the city, we want transit to be a real viable alternative to driving. And so that's what all these policies are focused on. And I think they point us in the right direction. It's hard to really look into a crystal ball and know how effective they'll be, but I think they're definitely in the right direction. And a lot of it is going to be contingent on funding, how much money we're going to be able to invest in active transportation and transit going forward. Anyhow, my thoughts are on my website, and if you have any questions or feedback, please let me know. It's coming to council for approval on Wednesday. Also on Monday, had a Board of Health meeting with Ottawa Public Health, and I was excited to see that Ottawa Public Health has now launched a mental health dashboard. So I'm sure you remember in the pandemic there were COVID dashboards updated every day, every week. Well, they've set something up now for mental health to bring together all sorts of data and information and statistics about how the community is doing in terms of our overall mental health and access to services. So they've got the start of that online. If you go to ottawapublichealth.ca, you can check that out. Really happy to see that. On Tuesday evening, we had a great councillor speaker series with Steve Buddha Leaflore, an incredible, inspiring speech or talk. He was storytelling, really, about his experience as a breakdancer and as a social worker, and some of the incredible work that he's done with youth at risk, in particular up north, some of the Inuit communities. So an incredible speaker. Thank you very much, Buddha, for presenting. I shared a few things on my website this week. There's a piece about density and the suburbs. We have again some provincial changes to how new communities, new suburbs are supposed to be built, and maybe a bit of a counterintuitive argument about why density is actually important and can be instrumental to getting some of the services we need, like retail, like schools, even swimming lessons and so on. So if you're interested in city planning, please check that out. And I was glad to see The Citizen published a piece that I wrote, an idea, maybe we should be looking at bus rapid transit, so like transit ways, instead of light rail for stage 3 of light rail. So we've seen a few cities starting to choose segregated bus lanes over rail as a solution to getting mass transit built faster. We have stage 3 light rail that the price keeps going up due to inflation and supply chain and other reasons. It's going to be in the billions of dollars. The cost of doing bus infrastructure could be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, so still a significant investment, but might be more realistic to get that infrastructure built sooner and would allow us to build some other corridors across the city as well. So check out the Ottawa Citizen website for that, and I'll probably share it on my website this week as well. Trees, still a lot of tree cleanup due to the storm a couple weeks ago. I just want to remind people this is a significant cleanup operation. The city's had thousands of requests of calls to 311 about trees down and about branches down. If you have them on your property, please bundle them up and leave them right at the edge of your property. There will be a city truck by. They're going to pick some of that up with the regular compost, but because of the volume, they're going to have to do some special pickups as well. And they're continuing to do debris cleanup, trees and branches, in parks and along pathways. It's going to take some time. This is not a matter of days. It's going to be weeks and maybe even a few months. The scale of the damage from the storm is pretty incredible. There are going to be some free wood chips available, just like there were after the derecho last year, but it's a different location. They've moved it from Maple Grove Road to the Kanata Rec Centre, which is the one on Terry Fox and Hazeldean, right across from the East Side Mario's. So if you need some wood chips, they're absolutely free. Help yourself, available 24/7 in the parking lot there at the Kanata Rec Centre. Also this week at City Hall, the LRT Action Plan was unveiled. This is a response to the judicial inquiry on LRT that came out last November. The city has now issued a 40-point action plan on how the findings of the inquiry are going to be addressed, and we'll be discussing that more at our light rail subcommittee on Friday. I don't have all the details yet, but for folks living in Fairwinds and Jackson Trails and Bryanston Gate, there was a decision released this week by the Ontario Land Tribunal about 1981 Maple Grove Road. This is a piece of land that Claridge owns at the end of Maple Grove, right on the edge of Jackson Trails, between Jackson Trails and Bryanston Gate, basically. That had gone to tribunal for a decision, and there was a settlement reached before the whole process went forward. I'm still trying to pull together a summary of what this means for the community, but just a heads up about that. We'll hope to post something on my website later this week. And locally as well, temporary traffic calming they've started to reinstall those locations. This is the flex stakes for the most part on streets, so they're out and installing those as we go. Not a moment too soon. We've been getting a ton of resident inquiries about speeding, and in large part that's because those flex stakes aren't there. They really do work to slow vehicles down. Anyhow, in the meantime, please slow down. Don't drive distracted. Stop at stop signs. Pay attention to your surroundings and obey those speed limits. They're really, really important. They're not there to inconvenience you or make your commute longer. They're there for the safety of the community. So please take care. Okay, some upcoming events to close things off. Today is Earth Day. The city and various partners are running a number of workshops over the next few days in conjunction with Earth Day. You can find more information on my website, glengower.ca. There are a number of community groups celebrating Earth Day by participating in cleaning up the Capitol at different spots around our community. I know the Horticultural Society in just a couple hours are going to be doing a cleanup at Village Square Park and along the Trans-Canada Trail. So thank you to them, and thank you to all of the community groups and families and individuals who are taking part in cleaning the Capitol. There's still a number of parks that are waiting to be signed up for. You can go to ottawa.ca for more information about that. This is Volunteer Week, so thank you to those volunteers and everyone else who volunteers in the community. I was glad to drop by the volunteer recognition breakfast yesterday for Western Ottawa Community Resource Centre. An incredible number of volunteers. They do one of the many things volunteers do there is they do a meal delivery program. And last year they drove something like 77,000 kilometers delivering meals to people who need them, who may not even be able to get out of their homes to access them, which is incredible. The circumference of the globe is something like 12,000 kilometers, so that's the kilometers driven to deliver these meals, about 6 times the distance around the globe, so pretty cool. A reminder that OC Transpo spring service begins tomorrow on Sunday. There have been adjustments on a number of routes, including some that serve our community. So check out the OC Transpo travel planner before you head out on your commute on Sunday or Monday morning, and make sure that you're aware of the revised stop signs. A lot of the revisions, by the way, are to address rising traffic in the community that was delaying some of the bus routes. So this is one way to contribute to reliability of bus schedules. And this Thursday, if you're interested, we have Transportation Committee again, and we're going to be looking at a number of things, among them the recommendations from the environmental assessment for the Huntmar widening and Stittsville Main Street extension here in Stittsville. We had a number of residents who provided some great feedback over the last year and a half on that project. There's a summary on my website, and if you have any comments or you want to come and speak at committee, please do. One of the things I'm glad to see in that is a consideration for a pedestrian and cycling overpass over the Queensway at Huntmar. It's one of the big missing pieces in our safety network. So it's good to see as part of that. And today, if you're looking for something to do, there is a market, a craft and vendor market at Johnny LaRue Arena upstairs. And I think it starts at 10 a.m. Be a great thing to drop by if you're looking for something to do. Otherwise, I hope you get outside this weekend and explore our neighborhood, walk around, bike around, skateboard around, scooter around. However you want to get around, go out and have a look and enjoy our fabulous neighborhood. Maybe check out some of our natural areas along Pool Creek or here Kemp Woodland or Shea Woods. Lots of spots to explore. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you here next Saturday. Take care.